Hello, today I'm going to talk to you about my October TBR. I usually do a TBR game called Escape the TBR where I'm rolling dice to try to escape this haunted house. But in October, I want to participate in all of the things. I am planning on participating in 4 readathons and 2 reading challenges, and I would just rather tell you about all these readathons and my plans for things with that, and just like chat about other things I'm planning on doing instead of trying to fit everything into my TBR game. So we are pausing that for this month. I think this is actually the first time I haven't played my TBR game I guess I started it in December or January of 2022 into 2023. So it's been almost 2 years for me playing this game, and I have not taken a break from it. So there's a first for everything. I'm excited about all of these readathons. So in October, I will be participating in TBR Harvest, hosted by Leandra, the TBR Zero. I will be hosting official sprints for this in October. On my Patreon, I will be hosting Halloween Readathon. This was a public readathon the last 2 years. It was a lot to keep up with, so it is moved to my Patreon this year. It's available for all tiers, so if you are interested in joining, the link for that is in the description. I'm also participating in Blackoween, hosted by Bree from Locked Booktition, and Halloweenathon, hosted by Kelsey from Slime and Slashers. And then my reads also will be going towards the Seasonal Spooky Challenge, hosted by Cassidy from Covers with Cassidy, and Horror Bingo, hosted by Sarah from Wicked Reading. So lots of things going on. There's going to be some overlap in some of this. I have 3 books to talk to you about for each of the public readathons. I'm hoping to read more, but that's just what I wanted to put on my TBR. And then I have 1 book that I'm going to talk about for Halloween weekend because there aren't very many prompts for that. And then I just have a stack of other things I hope to get to, and it's a little bit of a sneak peek for some exciting October content I have coming. So in October, I will be having a competition vlog series coming to you. There are tons and tons of books that I am reading for this. It's going to be so much fun, so make sure you subscribe so you don't miss that. So let's just get into the readathons. I'm going to start with TBR Harvest because I'm officially a part of this in a little capacity. So there's 3 different options to make the readathon work for you. I think I'm going to be doing the haunted house version. There's different prompts for the layout of the house. There's different paths you can take. I'm going to be starting on the left side going down the chimney, and in theory, you want to go back up and then go around the house. So you start in the attic no matter what, and that's to take a prompt from another readathon and read that book. So for that, I'm taking a prompt from the Seasonal Spooky Challenge, and I will be reading Heads Will Roll by Josh Winning. This is for the summer camp setting. I've had this recommended to me. I've heard really good things about it. It is about an influencer who goes to the Camp Castaway. It's for people who are trying to leave their past behind, kind of work on their mistakes. They're not using real names either. And then a camper vanishes, and Willow finds a mutilated doll's head in her room with a threatening message rolled up inside. I think this will be a really good one that's like a transition from the summer to fall season. So I will be starting with this for TBR Harvest. Then going down the chimney, the next prompt is to read a dark cover. So for that, I will be reading Incidents Around the Dark by Josh Mallerman. This is the book troop pick hosted by Gabby from Gabby Reads for October. All I really know is that this is following a creepy kid. I think we're getting her perspective. Yeah, an 8-year-old, and I don't really want to know any more details, but I've seen people say that this is like really scary and creepy. So very much looking forward to this one. I have read and enjoyed and not enjoyed from Josh Mallerman, so this will be interesting, but I'm really looking forward to it. I've heard seriously incredible things. This is also part of my Horror Bingo TBR to read a book club pick. And then at the bottom of the chimney is the fireplace. So here I could either read 1 more and complete it, or I could go back up, which will be my plan. I believe this one is also on my Horror Bingo TBR, and it is Secrets in the Dark by Darcy Coates. This is the sequel to Voices in the Snow, which is a zombie apocalyptic kind of horror book where a woman is trying to get to her sister and ends up crashing and is at this house with this guy, and they're trying to survive. So those are my current plans for TBR Harvest. I will be continuing throughout the month. I don't think I'm going to have a specific readathon vlog for each readathon I'm participating in because I'm doing the competition vlog series. I think I might have a vlog towards the end of the month where I'm reading books for all of the readathons I'm participating in, because some of them will be in the vlog series and some of them won't. So I think there might be a mashup of that coming at the end of the month. So next up for Halloween Readathon, I'm only going to tell you about one book. For Halloween Readathon, it's a readathon that runs Friday through Sunday every weekend. So there are 4 weekends throughout the month, so there's 4 prompts. There's a main reading prompt, a bonus reading prompt, and an activity prompt, and each week you pick one and complete it, and it's like a checklist for the entire month. So one of the main reading prompts is to read a novella, so I will be reading The Last Haunt by Max Booth III. This deals with an extreme haunted house, so I figured October would be a great time to read this. I really like Max Booth's books, so I think this one will go well for me, and it's also set on Halloween night. Oh, I didn't know that. Oh, that's good to know. Next up is Blackoween, and there are 6 or 7, I think, I can't remember the number, but there was a new one added this year that works well for reading more romance kinds of books. I think I'm going to be completing one that was already available, and that is Saint Tremaine Graveyard. There are 6 prompts, I believe, and you have to complete 5 to 6 to carry that into future rounds. I have never been able to complete a full location before, so I don't have any that are technically done. But this is a readathon that is focusing on reading crime fiction, so like horror, thriller, suspense, that kind of thing, from Black authors. So I'm not going to fit these into the prompts, but I have 3 books that are my top priorities. Delicious Monsters by Lizelle Sandberry. This is on one of the 2 reading challenge TBRs. I can't remember which one, but this is YA horror, and it is following 2 different timelines. I believe they're both set around this haunted house. One has to do with a haunted web series, and the other one is trying to escape their mother. I love this cover. It's incredible. Another YA I have Allegedly by Tiffany D. Jackson. I have read 3, I think, from her and really enjoyed all of them. And I think this is her debut, and this is following a Black woman who was babysitting a white baby, and the child died. And she was convicted and is in jail, but I think she didn't do it, so they're trying to figure out what actually happened. I've heard absolutely incredible things about this, and I'm excited to get back into reading Tiffany D. Jackson. And the last one I plan on reading is Devils Kill Devils by Johnny Compton. This literally just came in the mail. I was so excited that it came in time for me to hold it up. I loved The Spite House. I gave it 5 stars, so I'm really excited for this one. The synopsis of this is really short. There's a guardian angel and secrets and murders. This cover is like very subtle but really cool. Look at this face in here. Very much enjoy it. So this is like the good versus evil, that kind of thing, and I'm really looking forward to this. I also really like this shade of blue for some reason. Okay, cool. Doing great. Okay, on to Halloweenathon. This is hosted by Kelsey from Slime and Slashers, but there are some co-hosts as well. There's tons of ways you can participate in this readathon. It's actually already started. It started on the first day of fall, but I've been sick and also really busy and haven't been able to start. So I'm going to do my first 3 rolls, and then throughout the month I will continue till I get to the end of the board. I'm going to do the game board version of this, but there's also bingo. There's tons of different ways to make it work for you. So for my first roll, I rolled a 10, and that gets me to a book about vampires. So for this, I will be reading So Thirsty by Rachel Harrison. This is also my Patreon read-along book for the month. We are reading 3 Rachel Harrison books in a row, so we're starting with So Thirsty in October, and we will be discussing this together on Discord. This is following 2 girls who go out to party, and then vampire situations happen. This one just came out. I'm really excited to get to it. I loved Black Sheep last year when I read it. Her books are very funny, and I'm looking forward to that. I think it's just like sets it apart from other kinds of horror books. So I'll be reading this for the first prompt. For my second roll, I got a 6, which takes me to 16. And for this, I need to read a translated book, and I will be reading The Night Guest. This is also one of the 3, I believe, novellas picked for the Literally Dead Book Club hosted by Kayla from Books and Lala for the month. This is following a woman who wakes up and has walked like 40,000 steps at night or something, like something really ridiculous, and she does not remember it. I have heard that there's some very graphic cat scenes in there, so not looking forward to that. Like if you look at the reviews on Goodreads, all of the reviews talk about that, so I'm ready to cry, but I've been hearing good things about this book. And for my third roll, I got a 7, and this takes me to spot 23, and that is to read a book with a small town setting. For this, I will be reading Candy Cane Kills Again by Brian McCauley. Ooh, the second slaying. This is the sequel to Candy Cane Kills, but also it's in a series of novellas that are the Killer VHS series, where they're all kind of like retro kinds of things. The publisher very kindly sent me an early copy, so I want to get to this because it comes out in November. I read the first one in February, so I don't care that it's not Christmas season. I've heard this one is so much fun. I loved the first one. I cannot wait to read it, and this takes place in a church like this cover. I'm truly so excited to read this. So these are my current plans for readathons and reading challenges, things like that in October. If you have not seen my TBRs for the Seasonal Spooky Challenge and Horror Bingo TBR, I will have them linked in the description for you so you can watch those, find out all the details for that, well, the details with what I'm reading for them. I'm really excited about both of those, but both of those aren't taking place just in October, but I figured now is a good time to talk about them. And then I just have 5 other books that I'm hoping to get to, and it's also a little bit of a sneak peek of some of the books that I'm going to be reading in the competition series. Not all of these will be read in that, but some of them will. So I have The Grip of It, which is a haunted house story. My Darling Dreadful Thing, which is a haunted something story. The Dollhouse, which is a kidnapping story. Sleep Tight, which deals with dreams. And The Haunting of Velkwood, which is a haunted town. So those are some of my reading plans for October. I would love to get through way more than this, but these are 15 that are kind of at the top of my TBR. So in October, there's going to be a lot of content coming from me. There are 10 vlogs in my competition vlog series that is coming at the beginning of the month. There will be another round of reading books from my TBR because I'm trying to read the rest of them by the end of the year. The end of October will be episode 4. Tons and tons of readathons, reading challenges, fall themed things happening in October. I'm so excited. So make sure you stick around if you don't want to miss anything coming to my channel soon. If you've made it to the end and want to leave me an emoji to say you're here, you can leave me a pumpkin. Is there a jack-o'-lantern specifically? If there is, that. If not, a regular pumpkin is incredible. If you're participating in any of these readathons, please let me know as well. I will have everything that I talked about linked in the description for you, so check that out. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I hope to see you soon. Bye.